Apex27, your full-featured, cost-effective agent software solution.
Hi, welcome to this quick overview of Apex27. In this video we just want to show you around the interface and give you a brief taster of what you can expect from using the software. So to start with, I'm going to highlight the top menu bar, which gives you access to your branch selector, the quick find tool, the notifications and your user menu. So we use the branch selector to change the branch that you're currently working in. You can set branches up in the admin section. These would probably be configured for you by your administrator. The quick find tool allows you to search Apex27 for properties, people, maintenance issue, documents and also help center articles. You can search across all of your branches or just the branch you're looking at the moment, and you can also search for archived content. So here, for instance, I can start typing in the name of the property address and Apex27 will find all of the matching items for me and show me whether it's a property or if it's a person. And then I can just click on any of these links to take me to that entity inside Apex27. The notifications menu is where you'll see notifications coming in from things like Rightmove, Zoopla, On the Market, for all of your leads. You can see here we have some Apex27 update notifications and anything important the system needs to tell you about. Finally, we have the user menu. So if you have the right permissions, you can access the admin panel. You can look at your own personal settings. If you're getting up and walking away from your computer, you can lock your screen and it will give you the ability to log back in. Again, if you've got the right admin levels, you can jump straight to your account settings. And then finally, you have the logout option if you're using a browser in a shared environment, such as a hotel or something similar. The second menu bar is how we access the different parts of Apex27. So here we're looking at our dashboard. We have sales and lettings configured for this particular branch, and so it's just showing me our sales and lettings menu, and this allows us to access all of our sales properties and filter them automatically. We can look at all of our applicants, vendors, we can view our pipeline, and we have an advanced search tool as well. And we have something similar for lettings. Lettings being a little bit more complicated because of course we need to be able to record rent, search for issues, create issues and see all of your tenants and landlords. The leads section basically shows us where all of our leads are coming in and where they're coming from and what the lead is, such as a viewing request or a valuation request. Tasks breaks down all the different tasks, either for personally or for tasks we've delegated to other people. The contacts menu allows you to find all of the contacts inside Apex27. The nice thing about this is that for us a contact is just that, a contact, but you can tag a contact as a vendor, an applicant, a landlord and a tenant, and one contact can do many things. So you don't need to have a vendor's database, applicant database, a landlord database. We just have a contact database. We have our Apex27 diary. Now this is the heart of most agencies, of course, and the nice thing about the diary is that you can view it in different ways. We've got a week view here, which is my preferred way of viewing the diary. We also have a month view, a day view and a user view, so you can change how you want to see your diary. I'll just get rid of this little helper here. These little blue helpers appear when you first log into Apex27 to give you some hints and tips, and after you've seen them you can just hide those helpers and they'll disappear. You can filter the events that you see in the diary by event types. So we've got here our check-ins, check-outs, inspections, valuations, viewings, etc. We can also filter by individual users. So I can look at my office, my brand and my personal calendar, and if there was anybody else in this branch with me, I'd be able to see their calendar. If you ever want to, you can also export your calendars to Outlook or to your Google Calendar, your phones for instance. So a useful little feature to know. And you can set your defaults on here as well. So under the more settings you can change what your default day view is. So it could be a month view for instance. You can also set your start time and end time for your days when you're working in day view. and that gives you the ability then to book appointments in at different times of the day. The financials menu gives you access to all the invoices, payments and disbursements that you may make to your landlords, or creating invoices for sales properties, and the reports. I won't go into detail, but this is where you access all of your reports if you have the right privileges. So for example, you can have all of your contact reports, property reports, productivity reports, rental reports, and then finally your financial reports. The final menu, a support option here, gives you a way of contacting the Apex27 support team. So you can submit a support request through this system here, or you can just email support@apex27.co.uk. You can submit feature requests, give us feedback on what you think isn't working on Apex27. You can look at our forums, so share information with other Apex27 users. Our help centre is really useful. It gives you all of the instructions on how to use Apex27. So for instance, if I wanted to figure out how to add my calendar, my Apex27 calendar to my phone, I can just type in iPhone, and then straight away you can see there how to add a calendar to your phone, and it gives you the steps, nice and simple. We have a how can I help option. This basically is where you can give us feedback, you can leave us reviews if you like our software, that would be awesome for us. And then finally the change log. The change log is basically your insight onto how we're updating and improving Apex27 as we go forward. Hopefully you'll notice that we do an update once a week. We're always trying to keep the software fresh and updated, and we really look forward to feedback from our users. So just for this overview then, I just want to show you how we can onboard a property and the simple steps that are required to get a property onto the system, and that's all we're going to be focusing on this particular video. So to get a new sales property onto Apex27, we can go from the sales menu, add property. This is our onboarding form. The first thing we're looking for is our primary contact, so I can come in here and enter our primary contact details. So I'm going to enter Alfie Wright. We can enter Alfie's mobile number here. I'm going to put in a random number, and then Alfie's email address. Our address lookup works in two ways. You can either type the full address in, so for instance if I knew that Alfie lived at 3 Drake Road in Grays, I can just type in 3 Drake Road and you can see that it finds the address for me. Alternatively, we can use a postcode lookup, so if I wanted to I can just type in the postcode and then pick a house number, and Apex27 will do that for me as well. So you can do either. Our recommendation is postcode followed by the house name or number. Now importantly, we have our consent options at the bottom here. This is obviously for GDPR. Two important ones. The marketing is for our integration with MailChimp, and property matches if this particular vendor is also interested in buying a property, then we can capture their requirements. If Alfie had a partner, we can record that information here, so I could set up a spouse for instance, or a parent or something similar, but in this example I won't bother with a secondary contact. And this final column is to do with the property that Alfie's looking to sell with us and what his requirements are and position is. So we'll say Alfie's looking to sell a detached house, and he's going to be selling his primary address. If he was looking to sell maybe an investment property, we could pick other address here and we could enter the address details, but we're going to use Alfie's primary address. Alfie is looking to buy, but it's dependent on sale of this particular property, and his requirements are a minimum of 3 bedrooms, a maximum price of $895,000, and he's only interested in properties that are detached houses. And that's it really for our onboarding of the property, the basic information we need. When I click save, we then have the ability to book a valuation, view the property, or go and look at Alfie's contact card. So for this example, I'll just click book valuation. It takes me to my diary, and all I need to book the valuation in is to select the time that I want to book the valuation in for. So we'll do it from 5 till 6, and you can see there we have a valuation, and who's going to do the valuation. In this example it's going to be myself. What property we're valuing, the start date and end date of the end time of the valuation. And at the bottom here we have our confirmations, how we're going to confirm this with the vendor. Now if the vendor's sitting with me, I'd turn these off, but I could send out a text message or email. You'll notice that I've got a little warning, and the reason we have that warning is because I've not set up a call tracking number. Apex27 is free for the first user. However, if you want to use text messaging, you do have to register a card on the platform, and then that way we will bill you monthly in arrears for any text messages that you send. And they average out to about 2 to 3 pence per text message. So I'm not going to bother with confirmations in this example, and I'm just going to book that valuation in. And you can see there it's all booked in. And if I wanted to, I can actually record the fact that we have confirmed that valuation booking. So the next stage would be obviously for the agent to go out and value the property, take some photos, write some descriptions. What I would want to do is to continue onboarding is open up the property card for 3 Drake Road. So I can do that just by typing in 3 Drake Road in our search tool at the top here, and you can see it's found the property 3 Drake Road and it gives me the vendor, or it's found the vendor and shows me the property. So lots of different ways we can search for that. What I'm going to do is just jump straight to the property card, and I'm going to go to my valuations tab, and I'm just going to update the valuation with the fact that we're waiting on the vendor to make a decision. We valued the property at 785. We're going to recommend to market at 795, and the vendor thinks it's worth 825. So we can capture that information. I'm going to just update the marketing price to a recommended price at this stage. I won't do anything else. I'll click save. That updates and saves our valuation. The next thing I can do is generate a valuation letter. And when I do that, it'll open up and use one of my templates. It will pull through my logos or my headers, and that essentially just does a mail merge that we can use. But this is an editable document that we can change to however we want it to appear. When we're happy with our valuation letter, we can then send that as an email to our vendor, and it will automatically fill in all of the details for me and attach that letter as a PDF, and then we can send it. We're then waiting, obviously, for the vendor to make a decision on whether or not they're going to list with us. And just for this example, we will say they will. So I'm going to jump to the main details tab. And this is where we can enter a little bit more of the marketing information for this property. So, for example, I can come in here and say that the property has been instructed. It's not for sale yet because we've still got a lot of stuff to do. I can record the condition of the property, the age category, how big the back garden is. This one's got quite a big back garden. What the tenure of this property is. If it's a leasehold, we can record the start date of the lease. We can record the lease duration, and it will auto calculate the lease remaining for us as well. We can also capture any covenants that are on the lease. We can record things like the council tax band and any service charges, ground rent and insurance. So that's the main details tab. Under our agency tab is basically where we record our agreement with the vendor, and are we going to be using a for sale board. If we are, we can say whether or not it's been ordered, what board we're actually putting up, and then that can automatically generate an email to your board provider. If you use the SignMaster software from Agency Express, we can automatically integrate with that for you, so you can order your boards through Apex27 without having to log into Agency Express. The fees tab is where you can set what your fee is going to be and the service that you're offering. So for instance, we're going to be doing a traditional no sale, no fee at 1.25%, and the vendor is going to be paying that fee. Under the address and map tab, this is where Google believes this property is located, and we can zoom in on this. We can also go in and set our street view, and the reason we would do this is this would be the street view that we send to the portals like Rightmove, Zoopla, but also your website. We also have an integration with What3Words, so if this property is hard to park at, we can actually recommend a parking spot. So maybe we'd say, look, park on Barkbur Road, and then when we meet, we'll meet on the corner, and then we convert those locations into What3Words locations automatically. And if I click on the parking location, for example, You can see there it shows us exactly where to park. It's quite a useful feature. We've matched this property into a search region, and you can create your own search regions in the admin tool. That's something not for this particular video, but our customers normally use like local area names and also school catchment areas. It's quite a useful feature there. The descriptions, this is where you would type in your property description. So for instance, we can type in a quick summary, lovely 3-bedroom house. We can do our bullets, so you know, large kitchen, ample space, parking, and we can basically type whatever we like there. And then our full description, we can just type in a little bit of blurb there as well. So I can just copy some of this. Lovely 3-bedroom house, first to see or buy, and you can enter as many characters as you like for the full description. Under the Rooms tab, this is where you can specify the number of bedrooms, bathrooms, reception rooms, en-suites, and you can also add individual room descriptions as well. So if you wanted to, you could say something like modern kitchen with Neff appliances, and you can specify the room dimensions, and you can add multiple rooms. We can also upload our media, so this will be all of the photos, for example. So I can click on there, find my demo pics. I've got some pictures here, upload all of those. And when these are uploaded, the order in which we upload them will be the order in which they appear on the portals. But obviously you can drag and drop these images around. When we send the images to the portals, you also have the ability to watermark them as well. So you can put your agency logos on. The EPC tab allows us to search the EPC register, and if we find the EPC, we'll automatically enable you to use that. You can also upload floor plans, or you can create floor plans. So we do have a floor plan designer built into Apex27 that you can use to actually build your own floor plans. Let me stick a door in there, there we go, make that a little bit smaller. I won't spend too much time on this, but just to give you a rough idea of how this works. You can see that there, and then we'll put an opening in, and then finally we'll just add a little bit of furniture. There we go. Once you've created your floor plan, you can view that in 3D if you wanted to, and then save it down. So there's our floor plan. Videos and tours allows you to link with videos and tours, obviously upload from your phone, or link to YouTube videos, or Matterport, Drive 360 virtual tours. Under the marketing section then, you will see all of the property portals that this property is being exported to. At the moment this property isn't being exported, but we do create a little mini website for every single property that you onboard, and this can be very useful for pre-marketing. So if you've got a property and you want to show it to people before it's ready to market, you can create a nice little landing page. That same landing page actually can be used to request approval as well. So we can send out an approval request to our contact to ask them to approve. And if I open that link in a new tab, you can see there we've got the approved property details, where the vendor can either approve or not approve. So I can send that email, and then once that's been sent, you can see that a vendor approval has been requested, and if the vendor approves it, we get a notification inside Apex27 telling us that that property has now been approved. I'll just refresh this page and you'll be able to see that approval. There you go, it's been approved. No notes came in from the vendor. Social media, we do allow you to share properties on social media. What we recommend is you create an infographic to start off with that's suitable for the social media that you want to share on. There you go, nice little infographic. These are all editable using our document editor. Once we've generated our infographic, we can then share that to Facebook, Twitter or Pinterest. Apex27 also allows you to create your property brochures, your property particulars. We've got a few templates on the system already for you to use. I'm just going to use my brochure 2 template. I quite like this one. It's nice and easy to work with. You see it puts our logo in. I can zoom that out. You can see there, this is all very near Alpha. fully editable. I can edit out the property address as an example, change the address here, can even change the fonts. So if you've ever used Microsoft Word, you'll be very familiar with how this works. And you can see it's pulled through the EPCs and floor plans as well. So there's our brochures. If you're a high street office, you can also create window displays. And some of the other things I like to show at this stage are the keys and codes. So if the vendor gives you a set of keys, you can add a tracking number, or you can get Apex27 to create one for you. They're part of like a key fob, enter the number of keys and what those keys are. The nice thing about this is that we are then able to check these keys in and out of Apex27. So I can check them out to a specific user, or for example to a contact, maybe an energy assessor or a gas safety engineer. Apex27 can automatically email that contact and remind them to bring the key back in after a couple of days. And when the key's checked in, as you would imagine, we have a full audit trail of what's happened with those keys. We're almost ready to market this property now. It's almost finished onboarding. The only other thing I want to do is open up Alfie's contact card as the vendor and invite him to our client portal. Now the client portal is a great place for your vendors, buyers, landlords and tenants to visit to see what's going on with their property. So you can see here we've got our logo that you can change, personal details about the property, about the contact, their branch information so they know who to contact. A vendor can come in and set their viewing availability, which is really useful. So when you're booking viewings for this vendor on your diary, you will see what their availability is like. And then for each property, they'll be able to see all the status, any offers that have come in, sales progression, chains, viewings, feedback, and any documents that you've shared with them. So that's pretty much a property onboarded. The only other things that we need to do to make it live on the portals is if I go back to the property, I can change the status of it to exportable. Basically now it's going to push it to Rightmove, Zoopla, On the Market, whichever portals we've got set up. Also it will go to our own website as well if we have one of those. If you don't have your own property website, just reach out to our support team. We can set one up for you. We've got free templated based websites, or we can have a more thorough integration with WordPress or other websites using our APIs. So that's the onboarding finished. I hope you like this quick overview and tour of Apex27. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us at support@apex27.co.uk.